Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. Today is Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. My name is Mikaylee. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm a knitter, crocheter, and yarn dyer. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. I also have a group for this podcast on Ravelry. I'll link that down in the description below, but it's the Breaking Yarn podcast group. Today I have one finished object to share with you. I have a couple of whips and a few new products to share with you that will be going into the shop or that have already gone into the shop. So let's just jump right into it. My first, or I guess my only finished object is my pair of Shortie Socks. I knit these for Summer Sock Camp 2021 and entered them yesterday into the Ravelry thread for that. I entered into the 9-inch circular cabin because that's what I used to knit them with. I used the ChowGoo red lace interchangeable set for socks. And I'll link those needles down below in case you're interested in checking those out. So let me tell you what I did. I did 10 rounds of a twisted rib. So that's where you knit through the back loop and then purl normal. I did 10 rounds on the leg, technically. So 2 stripes here. And then I started my heel and I did that in a contrast that to match the cuff that came with this sock set. And I'll talk about the yarn in a minute. But then I did a heel flap, heel turn, and the gusset. And then knit down the leg, down the foot until the toe. And I did, this one has an end poking out, but I did a contrast toe as well and Kitchenered the toe together at the end. So those are my socks. I used yarn from Pretty Twisted Yarns, Teresa. And this colorway is such a pretty colorway. It is called Kay, and it was inspired by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. And these were so fun to knit. I had a lot of fun working with this yarn, and the colors were just so fun and bright. And I would totally recommend this yarn for socks. It's awesome. I ended with about 75 grams left of the striping. So I gave it to a friend so she could also make socks out of it since it was more than enough for that. I have a little over 5 grams left of the contrast mini that I used on the heels, toes, and cuffs, but it doesn't seem like it would be enough for her to do contrast heels, toes, and cuffs or anything. So I just kept that. I guess I could give her the remnants and see what she wants to do with it if she wants it. But yeah, those are my shorties, my little Shortie socks. They fit well. I forgot to mention that I used a US 1.5 size needle, and I think on my next pair I'm gonna try a 2. I'm kind of experimenting. I'm kind of a tight knitter. I don't know if you can tell from looking at it, but I'm kind of a tight knitter, and the US size 1 was pretty snug. It fits. Those were my Mandy Making socks that I showed on the podcast a couple of times ago. They fit. They're just a little snugger than I would like around. And so this time I tried a 1.5 to see how that would help. They're still a little snug. So I'm gonna try a 2 and see how that goes. So my next pair of socks, I'm gonna use a US 2 and that'll also be my first pattern sock, but I'll talk about that when I show the yarn for that project. Yeah, so that's it. My shorties, I entered them to Summer Sock Camp. I saw in the 9-inch thread when I posted these, there were almost 1,400 pairs of finished socks just from June 1st till now. That is insane. I was a little surprised. I was like, whoa. And I just entered, you know, to add to the fun. I don't really, you know, care too much about winning prizes or anything like that. Although it would be cool to win something, but it's not like my motivation behind it. It's more just to get into sock knitting. So those are my Shortie socks with pretty twisted yarn. And I will link all of my project pages down below as well from Ravelry. So if you're looking for additional information that maybe I didn't mention on the podcast, you can look there to see if there is an answer there. If there's not, you know, comment down below and let me know. I'll be happy to answer it for you. So my next whip that I have going is in a bag by Carrie of Stolen Minutes. And I am just very casually working on this, so it doesn't have tons of progress for 2 weeks, but I am knitting another Musselburgh hat out of this Slub yarn. This is 90% superwash wool, 10% nylon, and I am just testing out what it's like to knit with Slub. And this is also just like a yarn Mop Color that I had dyed to soak up some extra dye in a pot. And here's my progress. I am using Teague US size 3.25 millimeter, and I'm using my red lace interchangeable set again. And I'll also link this set down below. I use them all the time. I am a huge fan of the Teagues. They're so smooth and easy to work with. And I love being able to switch from magic loop to in the round and not having to do a whole lot of finagling for that. So this is the progress on my Musselburgh hat. It's not very much. I am just knitting this US large, adult large, and I figure I could wear it. It's working out pretty interesting. I'm already past the increases and now I'm just knitting, so it's a good mindless project. The inside has a lot of the little like bumpies from the yarn, so I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to fit and everything. I'm not sure if I want to carry this yarn or if it'll just be kind of like a special thing if I do it. Like not have it all the time, but sometimes have it. I'm not sure yet. If you would love to have my normal colorways on Slub, let me know in the comments. I read every single comment and I try to reply to every single one too, so it's a good gauge for the types of things that you would like to see in the shop. So that's my progress. Not too far, but past the hard part, I guess, and now I'm just knitting round and round. So I probably won't show this every time unless there's been a lot of progress made on it. I'm just knitting it literally like a row, half a row here, a row here, like pretty small, not focusing on it too much. It's more of just like a mindless pick up and knit. So that's that. I will keep you posted on the progress of that and the Slub yarn as well to see if I like it and want to keep it in the shop. Okay, so my next whip, or I guess my last whip that I have really to show. I have one more, but I'm not going to show it because it's a design and it's not in a place where I really want to show it. So this is my Beak Street Tea, and it's from a pattern from this Vertex Color Block Projects book. And here it is, Beak Street Tea. It's by Bridget Popio. And I will link the book and the pattern down below in case you want to check those out. But this is my progress. So I'm a little over halfway done with the back flat panel. So they are knit flat in tarja. There's a seed stitch ribbing at the bottom, which is really pretty. And then I'm using black and white stripes, just like how the pattern shows it. I thought it was so beautiful. So I am a little over halfway. You can see where I was last episode is right here. So I've made some decent progress. Not as much as I would have liked, but I can talk about that in a minute. I've just been really busy with the shop and different things that I'm getting ready to come to the shop, and a fun new cowl I'll talk about. So I'm just slowly working on this, and I hope to have it done, I don't know, before the end of summer. But we'll see how that goes. And the yarn, I am using my new colorway Bleeding Out. Just a solid red that matches the Jesse Pinkman red. Lily of the Valley. And Jane Margolis. And these are all in my quarter round fingering base, which is 100% superwash merino wool. And yeah, I'm loving how it's working up. I love knitting it. Again, I'm using my Chaogu red lace interchangeables, and this is a US size 5 and 3.75 millimeters. So there we go. And here's the back of it. I like to show the intarsia part, I guess, is just how you pull the yarns together. So like when you are switching colors, you move your old color to the left and then bring your new color up and under, and that just kind of like loops the yarns together so that there's no holes or gaps, and it looks seamless, which is really cool. I love color block projects. Like, I think they look so cool. I'm obsessed with them, even like normally in my clothing too. I'm obsessed with them. So I am loving that I'm getting to knit this. Yeah. So that's my Beek Street Tea. I will keep you updated on that and the progress of that as time goes on. Okay. So future cast-ons, I showed one part of this the last episode. I am sharing yarn with my friend Leah. My ball is kind of a mess. I might rewind it actually before I start, or maybe I'll just do outer pull and it won't matter. But I split a skein of yarn and sent half of it to my friend Leah, and she split a skein of yarn from her stash and sent me that half skein. So we're gonna knit socks, matching socks, or matching yarn socks, I should say. I think she's choosing a different pattern, but I got her yarn and she sent me her yarn. So this is the yarn that she sent me. It's a really pretty like light pink, or not pink, I'm sorry, purple with like blue speckles. And I don't have the yarn name. Maybe I can link that down, or I'll like put it on the screen. I'll text Leah and ask her, but I believe it's a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And I think she said it was even like 54 grams or so, and this one is like 51 or so. But what I'm gonna do, so I said already that I'm gonna use a US size 2 on my needle tips to see how I like that size. And I am gonna do the Rainbow Connection socks by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. I think that will be a really fun way to use up both of these, and without having to guess too much if I'll have enough, or contrasting toes and all that stuff. So that's my plan for this. I will be casting this on soon, probably sometime this holiday weekend. Why not, right? Okay, so I have a couple of new things One thing is new in the shop right now, so when you see this on Monday or whenever you decide to watch this, it will already be in the shop. And I have a few new things that are coming to the shop, and I wanted to share just a few little sneak peeks with you. I have a few more things that I don't have ready yet that I will also be adding to the shop, but I'll save those as a surprise. So the first thing that went in the shop is the new colorway Bleeding Out. This particular one is on my Swish DK base, and it's just a really pretty red. This is the red that I'm using for my Beak Street Tee. So it's now live in the shop. I have all the way from minis, which are 20 grams, all the way, so sock yarn, quarter round fingering, Swish DK, and Swish worsted as well. So I have all different weights of it available in the shop, but it's just a gorgeous red. It's really fun to work with, and I am obsessed with the color combination options there are just by adding this one color. So go check that out. I'll link it down below for you to see. Yeah, so that's Bleeding Out. The next thing that nobody has seen yet that is coming to the shop, at least I think on July 12th, and I'll talk about why that date in a minute. I had breaking yarn enamel pins made. These are super cool. They're hard enamel, or they're technically soft enamel, but it's my new logo that my husband designed for me. Just a little bit more of a simple one without the smoke in the background. And I designed this backing card. It's actually my yarn, a picture of my yarn that I had taken and kind of like made it look cartoony a little bit. So that will be coming. It has 2 pins on the back and these little rubber like stoppers, or I'm sure, yeah, see. And then this goes on top of it just to hold it in place. And also it's like not sharp, so if you put it on a project bag or something like that, it's not going to poke your project. So look for those in the shop. Those will be coming on July 12th. And the next thing that I have coming to the shop are breaking yarn, same logo. These are scissors. These are my favorite type of scissors to be in a project bag because they're little, they have a case, so they're not poking anything, and they're spring loaded, so it automatically opens and you just push down to snip. So it's real easy to use. It's all plastic, and it has my logo on it as well. So these will also be going into the shop on July 12th. I'll have a couple of more things, probably 2 more things going into the shop that are brand new. I don't know, one of them I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to have all the time, but it might just be more of an update type situation, and I will share more about that when it happens. I am hosting my very first knit along or crochet along. It starts on July 12th. There's that date again. It starts on July 12th and will go through August 31st? 30th? 31st? I can't remember. 31st, August 31st. I'll have to check my graphic to make sure it says the 31st on it and not the 30th. But the end of August, starting on July 12th, whips are welcomed. The whole thing is that it's Breaking Yarn's 2nd birthday on July 12th. So I wanted to celebrate by doing a knit along or crochet along. So it's, you can use hashtag Breaking Yarn birthday Cal, K-A-L, or C-A-L for crochet along depending on what your project is. But the requirements are just that you use my yarn in one of your projects, or you can use one of my patterns as well in any yarn that you want. I opened a finished objects thread on Ravelry, so you can enter your objects there after July 12th. And I said whips are welcomed. There's not tons of notice that I'm giving, so I wanted to make sure that I said whips are welcome. So if you're already working on a project, you know, after July 12th, put it in the finished objects thread, and I will be drawing winners for prizes. Maybe you can win some of the new items, you'll win yarn, maybe some gift cards so that you can choose exactly what you want. It's endless. No, it's not endless, but the possibilities are open, and I hope that you will join us for that. You can use the hashtags on Instagram, Breaking Yarn Birthday Cal or Cal, and I will also choose winners from Instagram. So you can tag me in the photos. I love being tagged in the actual photo, so it goes on my profile page, and other people are able to see that as well, and it stays there. So I think that's like an extra little fun thing for people to be able to see your projects, and maybe you'll get a follow out of it too. Oh, I am wearing my summer trellis. This is a project that I finished a little bit ago. I knit this knit along kind of with my friend Lisa, and we chose this pattern, the summer trellis by Jill of Knitterella. I used yarn that I dyed with Kool-Aid, actually, cherry, black cherry, and grape. Information about this can be linked down below, and you can look at the project page. I also have a blog post about it as well. And that has additional information, and there's also a tutorial on how to dye the yarn if you want to create a similar look. So and also instructions on how I did my fade into each color. And a little bit of shop news. I just actually received another wholesale order for a store in Taos. It's called Mooncat Fiber. So if you're ever in Taos, New Mexico, be sure to check out her store. She is now stocking Breaking Yarn, and so I'm so excited. I've been working on that. I hope to get that out early next week, and then I can hopefully fill up the shop with a little bit more yarn as well. Thank you again for joining me on episode 12 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day.